Summer Sweetheart, Chapter 37. The doctor gave Carl a fever reducing injection and his condition has stabilized. When Elisa asked for a towel to help Luther wipe the sweat, the other people in the room had already gone. She felt a little strange in her heart. In the restaurant that day, she fell into the arms of Luther and was seen by Smith, but Smith didn't say anything. So he asked her to take care of Luther. Mom, Luther began to talk silly again. Elisa helped him wipe his sweat and was about to pump his hands, but he grabbed her hand unexpectedly. Elisa tried hard to break away from his hand, but found that his hand was holding her tightly like iron tongs, making her unable to withdraw at all. She stared at him angrily. "I'm not your mother. Let go." But the man, who was awkwardly asleep, couldn't hear her at all. He just grabbed her hand tightly, his eyebrows gradually loosened, and his breathing became steady. The cold phone called at this moment. "Tina, are you here? I'm at the door of the villa. How about you?" Elisa lowered her head and glanced at Luther, who was sleeping peacefully on the bed, and tried to withdraw her hand, but she was dragged tightly. She had no choice but to ask Smith to bring Tina in. As soon as Tina entered the room, her eyes widened in shock. "Didn't you say that Carl is ugly? Is this ugly?" Smith, who was standing behind her, tightened his scalp and explained, "This is Master Luther." "Master?" Tina glanced. "Then why is he pulling Elisa's hand?" "Cousin, don't you know how to avoid it?" Smith was choked by her question. When Elisa heard this, she couldn't help but look up at Smith, which was exactly what she wanted to ask. After holding back for a long time, he squeezed out a few words. "The elder sister is like a mother." Elisa looked at Smith without a smile. "So he just called me Mom." "The young master will wake up soon. He can't bear it." Smith found an excuse to go out dingy. "Sit down first and we will go out for dinner later." Elisa patted her chair beside her. After Tina sat down, she leaned closer to see Luther. Even in the entertainment industry, she has seen countless high-value handsome guys and beauties. Seeing his face, she couldn't help but exclaimed, "I'll go. Is this Adam's jeans so good? It looks so beautiful. It's real, right?" As she said, she stretched out her hands awkwardly to squeeze his face. As a result, her hand was only halfway out, and the man on the bed, who had already closed his eyes, suddenly opened his eyes. There was a momentary confusion in his pitch-black eyes, but within 2 seconds, the confusion disappeared cleanly, replaced by an utter coldness. The Tina was trembling with the look in his eyes. She retracted her hand with a swipe, swallowed, and said with some difficulty, "Wake up." Seeing that Carl's eyes were not good, Elisa stretched out her hand and stopped in front of Tina and said to him, "What are you doing, my friend?" When Carl looked at Elisa, his tight face eased slightly, the coldness in his eyes disappeared, and his voice was hoarse. "Water." Elisa raised her hand held by him and said angrily, "Then you have to let me go first." Carl looked at the hand held by the two of them, took a deep look at her, and let go of her hand. Elisa got up and was about to go out when she heard someone talking outside. "I'll go in and see if he is dead." "Master, he is really sick." Both voices were familiar, but Elisa could only hear Smith in the back. The next moment, the door was pushed open. Peter and Smith stood one after another at the door. Peter didn't expect that Elisa was there. He was taken aback for a moment, and then he took out his glasses and put them on calmly and said politely, "Cousin is there." "Elisa." "Yes." The speed of his face changes fast enough. "I heard that Luther was sick, so I came to see him. Peter was interrupted before he finished speaking. "Peter?" Elisa turned her head and saw Tina walking towards Peter. As she rolled up her sleeves, she walked over and directly punched Peter in the stomach. Peter was bitten by her first 2 steps backward and felt pain when he looked at it, but he tightened his jaw without blinking his eyes. Elisa was dumbfounded. "What's wrong?" After a few seconds of silence in the room, Peter chuckled lightly and said in a low voice, "Tina Weber, you are so heavy. Can you support me if you beat me?" Tina said with a cold face, "I said I saw you hit you once." Alisa had never seen such Tina before and she even saw hatred in Tina's eyes. Tina turned her head to look at her. I will wait for you outside. Alisa nodded. As soon as Tina left, Peter was like, okay person. He sat directly by the bed and stared at Carl for a while before saying, are you really sick? Carl originally said he was going to the company today, so when he heard that he was sick, Peter Grant thought it was fake. Stay away from me. Carl frowned, making no secret of his dislike for Peter. He silently looked at Alisa. Alisa understood what he meant to express. Let Smith get you water. She was a little worried about Tina and went out after speaking. Carl glanced at Smith coldly. Get out. Smith nodded. I will get you water right away. Carl said quietly, I don't want to drink anymore. The young master is really getting more and more strange. As soon as Alisa went out, she pulled Tina downstairs. You and Peter knew each other before? Yeah, Tina paused, then added, that kid owes me. Even if I kill him, he won't fight back. So it sounds like Tina and Peter have a deep grievance. Alisa didn't ask more and didn't tell her about the interview invitation letter. The two went out to eat together and Alisa received a call from Luther as soon as the dishes were on the table. She didn't save his number, so she didn't know it was from Luther. When will you come back? Although the voice of Luther sounded a little weak because of illness, it was highly recognizable and Alisa recognized it instantly. Alisa asked, something? There was a few seconds of silence on the other side before a voice sounded, I haven't eaten yet. If you can't eat, let the doctor give you an infusion. He interrupted her unfinished words. I want to eat the food you cook. His voice didn't sound very energetic and his usual arrogant appearance formed a sharp contrast. It was inexplicable to hear Alisa's ears. Alisa didn't know how to answer, so she hung up the phone. As early as when she answered the phone, Tina listened with her ears upright. She shook the juice in the glass and smiled meaningfully. That handsome cousin called you. Chapter 38. He is fascinated by you. Tina shook her head with an unfathomable expression. I don't believe you are not fascinated by Luther's skin even a little bit. Tina stretched out her hand and made a little gesture looking like a little hooligan. Fascinated by looks? When I see beautiful flowers on the road, I will look at it more, let alone a man with good looks and good temperament like Luther. Actually, I haven't seen Carl. They are from Adam's family. If he has not been disfigured, he must be a very good-looking person. In Alisa's tone, she felt a little pity for Carl, a husband she had never met before. Have you seen it so far? Are you a fake couple? You have been married into Adams for 2 or 3 months, right? Tina drank a large glass of water and was shocked. As if thinking of something, she said, I think that Luther is very unusual to you. When he looked at me, his eyes were cold and terrifying, and he was much gentler to you. Luther is gentle to her? Alisa shook her head. You are afraid that you are making a silly filming. Tina was dissatisfied and wanted to argue when her cell phone rang. It was her agent who called. After hanging up the phone, she reluctantly said, let me go to the company for an emergency meeting again and finally have time to have a meal with you. Alisa comforted her. Then you go first, and when you come back from the filming, I will treat you to dinner. Separated from Tina, Alisa returned to the villa directly. As soon as she entered the door, she saw Luther in the hall. His complexion is very bad. Wearing house clothes with a laptop in front of him and a glass of water next to him, his face is cold and he doesn't know what he is looking at. Alisa sighed in her heart. This man is really hard. Last time he was shot and dared to ask her to fetch him a bullet. So he passed out with a fever and got up to do something after the shot. And if he felt someone watching him, as soon as he raised his head, he collided with Alisa's eyes. Back. His voice was still hoarse, but it didn't weaken his strong aura at all. Alisa glanced at the computer in front of him and asked him at a distance of 3 to 4 meters, Are you working? Are you okay? Except for his poor complexion, he really couldn't see how he looked like a patient. It's okay. After tapping his finger on the computer keyboard a few times, he suddenly raised his head and looked at her fixedly. Just a little hungry. thinking of the phone call he made before Elisa said, "You can let the bodyguard cook." Luther seemed to know what she was going to say and interrupted her indirectly. "It's unpalatable." He said these two words without beginning and end, but Elisa knew that he was talking about the bad food cooked by the bodyguards. Smith came over with the medicine just in time to hear Carl say, "It's unpalatable." His mood can only be expressed in two words: ha ha. They have never heard the young master say that their cooking is unpalatable before. Since marrying the young lady, they have started to make heaven and earth. To tell the truth, apart from the ugly appearance of Madame, he really didn't see anything special. But the young master does not hate Mrs. Young, and he is even a little concerned, so he will naturally respect Mrs. Young as he works. Elisa checked the time. It was almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Seeing that Smith was still here, she was stunned and asked him, "Carl is at home?" "Yeah." The one who answered her was Luther. Elisa was a little surprised. "Then has he eaten?" Carl held the hand of the water cup for a while, looked up at Smith, and then raised his head to drink. "Young master hasn't eaten it yet." Smith admired her ability to adapt. Elisa's eyes lit up. "Then I'll go to the kitchen to cook and send it to him later." After speaking, she happily went to the kitchen. Last time she wanted to cook for Carl, but it was later eaten by Luther. Her reaction fell in Carl's eyes, and he was inexplicably jealous of Carl. Smith divided the medicine and handed it to Carl. Carl didn't answer, turned his head and asked Smith earnestly, "Do you think she is really stupid? She is not pleased by a man with a normal body and appearance. Why does she always want to curry favor with a useless person? Is she just pretending?" Smith silently thought that the young master is usually a lot of cold people. After the young lady got married, the young master would always deliberately provoke her when there was nothing to do. He was a little suspicious of the young master's aesthetics, but in fact he only dared to say vaguely, "The young master is very concerned about the young lady." Ugh. Of course, who Carl was, he understood the meaning of Smith's word at once. Hearing the cold voice, Smith said quickly and earnestly, "The young lady should not be stupid. The series of actions she did is to remedy Isabel are also very meticulous." Meticulous? If he hadn't secretly helped her take care of some things, had caused such a big thing on the internet, how could hunt people who care about the family face not trouble her? Elisa cooked a pot of vegetable porridge and made a healthy vegetarian dish. No matter what flavor Carl likes, it's okay to make a light regimen. She made the meal, first put a portion of each dish on the tray and then put the rest on the table. At night, he glanced at the entrance of the restaurant, walked in, smiled and said, "Madam, please give me the share of master." Elisa handed the tray to Smith and asked, "Is he going out this afternoon?" "I don't know. When I live in lies every day, I feel desperate in my heart. When will this day of lying every day end?" As soon as he left, Luther entered the restaurant. Sitting at the dining table, he looked up at the faint green vegetable porridge and a few plain colored vegetables on the table, curled his eyebrows and said, "So light." Elisa poured a cup of hot water and put it in front of him forcefully with a heavy tone. "Otherwise, isn't it possible that you, a patient, still want to eat a spicy hot pot? It depends on me if you die." After speaking, she felt that she shouldn't have said that again. Let him die. However, Luther didn't lose his temper with the young master either. Instead, he picked up his chopsticks and started eating slowly. Elisa stood by and watched him keep picking up vegetables and drinking porridge. His appetite was so good that he didn't look like a patient at all. Perhaps for Luther there is only life and death and will never be affected by things like illness or injury. And the body of Aaron Hitt is really different. After he finished eating, someone naturally cleaned the kitchen and Elisa went straight back to the room. She turned on the computer and found that the topic of Isabel's indecent video that was suppressed in the morning was ranked first in the hot search again. After she scanned it several times and made sure that she had read it correctly, she thought of was that Tina bought the list with money.